I was listening to a snippet of a talk by David White this morning, and he was talking about self-knowledge. It was from something he had written about the evolving edge of being human, how we can't completely know ourselves. And so much of what we talk about, self-awareness, insight, even understanding ourselves, lives inside the mind. And the mind, as beautiful as it is, for all that it's capable of, it can also be where things get really tangled. It's where patterns loop, where neural pathways fire faster than we can track. And before we know it, we're responding in ways that we had not intended, ways that are not useful, ways that keep us caught. It's a place where mood, meaning, memory, and interpretation all begin to organize themselves into something that feels very real, and it is, to a point. We can understand why we feel the way we feel. We can name it. We can trace it back, and still, we find ourselves in the same place. Because all of that is still content. It's still happening within the thinking mind. So this is where distinction really starts to matter, where we open to the possibility of another dimension of engagement that doesn't involve thinking. Because as human beings, we're not only our minds. There's another orientation that's available. It isn't another thought, not a better interpretation, not a more refined understanding, but a shift of context into what I'm calling conscious awareness. It's not an idea, but as a lived orientation, a space, a kind of dimensional field in which all of that content of the mind, which is vast and ongoing, where all of that is happening. But it's not the sum total. It's not the final word. So what can begin to change from a differing space of orientation is that we're no longer trying to find our space to stand inside the content of the mind. We're not trying to stand on thoughts or explanations or emotional states that are always moving and shifting around. Instead, we begin to sense into a place to stand that's not made of content. In a very real sense, we can begin to own the room from this dimensional awareness. Paradoxically, we can own the room when there is in fact no room to be had, not in the dimensional space of awareness. It's a place that's here before the thought, during the thought, and after the thought. A place that can hold all of it. And from that contextualized space, the content of the mind doesn't need to disappear or be resisted. Thoughts and emotions, patterns of behavior, grief, loss, heartbreak, despair, they continue to move, but now we're relating to them from somewhere more stable, not because we fix the mind, but because we're no longer standing inside of the mind in the same way. And what's really interesting in all of this, the mind actually benefits. It softens, it reorganizes, it has more room because it's no longer being allowed to be the only ground we stand on. The mind is in fact held in the space of conscious awareness. Conscious awareness has the capacity to hold it all with equanimity, compassion, care. It includes the mind. From awareness, something begins to open, and it isn't certainty, it isn't control, it's not even creativity, it's capacity. And from capacity comes choice. Meaningful, purposeful choice becomes possible. There is a place to stand, and it isn't made of thought. I'll see you next time for day 10 of our ongoing conversations regarding the difference between content and context. Thank you for being here today.